I already did. Just if you want to just retweet it.
Hey now.
Good morning. I like Josh firing with those bullets.
I
know. Hilarious. Great. I'm glad we haven't lost a step in 3 weeks. How's everybody doing?
Doing okay.
Doing good.
Josh? You're muted, I think. I don't know why we can't hear you.
You're muted.
Josh?
I know. I'm sorry. I was trying to tweet that out, and it was between
I love
machine gun.
So, well, this is going great. Right. This is going great.
It's all my fault.
Thanks for anybody watching live. So before we jump on to the previously on next issue, I just want to say I'm very glad we're back live. We've had a lot of videos on the YouTube channel that you guys have been watching. Not particularly you. Well, I don't know if you guys have been watching them. I just mean like subscribers in general. Yeah, you there. Oh shit, where's my camera? There it is.
You right there.
So today, what we're gonna do is we just want to catch up. We know the previously on next issue segment is going to be long because we haven't talked to each other. And whenever we don't do the podcast, we try not to talk to each other because, we got to. No, I'm just kidding.
we never chat.
If only they saw our Discord.
Yeah.
We'll be at work and then 15 Discord messages later.
If it's not content, I don't want to have anything to do with you guys. But so yeah, it's gonna be a little long because we haven't talked to each other in a while, but like as deep as we normally do. And then for the main section of the podcast, we've had so many announcements about so many different things on the space, like movies, comics, TV shows, just random stuff that although we have been covering them a little bit on the channel, I want to have a discussion with everyone about all that stuff. So that's what the show is like today. Somebody did put a question of the week. I'm glad somebody filled that in the notes. I don't know if it was this week or last week since this is
okay.
No, it was this week.
Okay, great. Well, there you go. Yeah, think about it. The question of the week. If you're listening or watching this,
we don't have to do that if
you
guys don't want.
It's in the document.
Wow,
we are legally bound by law now. It's in the document. What is your favorite superhero video game? So think about that. What is your favorite superhero video game? Well, we've had some pretty good games recently, but let's save that till the end of the show. We'll come back to it. Who wants to kick us off with the previously on next issue? Who thinks that after 3 weeks they can wow us with their shenanigans?
I can.
Right. Let's go, Clay.
Clay always can.
Yeah, because I'll dip into the Shudder stuff and the really weird stuff. This past Friday, Joe Bob did Mandy with Nicolas Cage. Have y'all seen Mandy?
Yeah.
Nope.
No, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Man, how do I describe the intensity of what this movie is? I mean, it is full Cage. No matter what movie you tell me, oh well, Nicolas Cage is insane in this. No. Mandy goes to 11. Mandy is the most intense, horrific movie you will have ever seen, and it is just like you grab on and just watch and get through it. It's weird watching it a second time, knowing everything that happens because it's just so soul shattering, and then watching Cage just unload is so intense. But watching with a group of people online was really fun because you get to see people who've never seen this before, and everyone's just like, "What the fuck is about to happen? What's happening?" Everyone is just on the edge of their seats. So watch Mandy if you have. If you have Shudder, I really recommend watching it with Joe Bob Friday nights, watching any of the stuff. Because the week before, that poster is amazing.
Does that look unhinged? I don't know.
You know what? If did any of you see Color in Space? Color Out in Space?
I think
I've seen half of it. I still need, and I would have watched I would have watched the whole thing, but my wife wanted to watch it too, and so I paused it. And we just haven't gotten back around to it.
That is a Saturday morning cartoon compared to Mandy.
It's
oh my god!
That's how I'm gonna rate those.
I want to imagine that Color Out of Space is just paused on some screen on Josh's house, like it's been paused this whole time.
Yeah,
like my old OG Nintendo games. I'm like, don't turn the TV off.
Yes, just leave it. I'm saving that. But the week before, he did Joe Bob did a movie called Fried Berry, and it is. Man, this is a hard one to really describe. It's a guy who looks like he takes drugs is the star. So just imagine you've got your street drug addict, weird facial hair, just kind of fading away. And he is injected with like alien LSD, and you go on that trip with him. And that is what Fried Berry is. Yeah, the horror movies on Shudder are just out of this world. I mean, every week is a little more intense, and Joe Bob introduces some great stuff if you haven't seen it. So, my last Shudder film is In Search of Darkness Part 2. In Search of Darkness was a Kickstarter film that I think Shudder picked up. It is just a documentary about 80s horror. It goes through almost every film, and the films that it didn't get now are in part 2, and they interview great people like Barbara Crampton, people who did a lot of horror in the 80s, and you get some great perspective on some of the films that were done. So if you dig that, and plus it's one you could just turn on. It is, I think, like 256 hours or 256 minutes.
I'm gonna say what?
Oh, good God! Wow, that beats Andy Goldsworthy's Sleep.
Well, you guys give me shit about the Snyder Cut being 4 hours long.
But it's one you can turn on and you find out about great films, in films you've either seen or you need to see. That's what In Search of Darkness is great showing. I will share one other thing. I saw Katie Sackhoff had a show called Another Life that was on Netflix. Y'all see this? I call it the real world space. It has your diverse group of people who are all astronauts in their 20s who just have problems with each other and just hate being roommates, but they're in space. Katie Sackhoff is the only one doing anything interesting in this, and she's almost having like a Scarlet Witch type mental breakdown in one episode where she is in hibernation, but she is actually back home living in this perfect idealized suburban life. Katie Sackhoff is great. This show is fucking terrible. If you want to see like what it just looks like, people took 2 scripts and put them together. They're like, I really enjoy the real world, but I want to write a space opera. And just
maybe 2 interns. You know how interns read the scripts for people? They're walking down the studio, they bumped into each other, and their pages got commingled, and then they just picked them up.
Well, if this is the Reese's peanut butter,
put your peanut butter on my chocolate. Yeah,
this is a bad combination.
Exactly.
But that's it for films that I've watched lately. The things I'm really digging on is the Iron Fist series that's out right now with Larry Hama.
Oh, okay.
Heart of the Dragon. Are y'all reading it?
Oh, that's awesome. No, I didn't know Larry Hama was writing that. I need to check it out.
Yes, it's so good. The hearts of dragons that exist in the Marvel Universe help balance the 7 cities, Kunlun, all the ancient cities that you can access every 10 years or in various ways. They're starting to crumble. What's holding them together is the heart of dragons, and someone is out there killing them and taking them. to help collapse everything.
Interesting.
And it is an Iron Fist book because you follow him, but it has Luke Cage, it has Fu, it has the characters that, oh my God, Carrie Andrews created. I'm trying to remember Fu and then the other young girl.
The kids?
Yeah.
The kids. Yeah, I don't remember. The young Iron Fist.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great mashup of people that are in it. And then who leads the Wakandan?
The Dora Milaje?
Yeah. Who's the lead of that?
I mean, from the movies, it's Ao. No, Ao's from the Winter Soldier. Oh, yeah, from the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
It's
I want to say Oeko, but that's not right.
No.
Well, whoever that is, she's in this book, and in the latest issue, she's seen taking one of the hearts of the dragon. So I'm curious how this is going to play out because it's been Taskmaster who's been stealing the hearts of dragons and killing them, and they've been chasing them, trying to establish this stability for the kingdoms.
Okoye.
Okoye, yeah. And in the latest, man, she actually absorbs the power of the dragon's chi. So I don't know if they're setting her up to be like super powerful or if she already is to be able to maintain that. But that book is so fun, and that is the stuff I've enjoyed about Iron Fist. You know, just these kind of mystical stories and stuff. And this one is perfect. My last book, Curse of the Man Thing, which wasn't really a series. It was just 3 random books in different areas.
Yeah.
Wait, what's Josh?
Curse of the Man Thing just sounds like, I don't know, me waking up every morning in the 90s. It just like, what is going on? Who titled this character? I swear.
Listen, I definitely looked this up with Safe Search.
Well, things are being shaken up in the Man-Thing universe. In the first one, in the Avengers book, he pulls in Captain America. It's Ted Sallis is physically inside talking to Captain America about Man-Thing, and suddenly these giant fruits and vegetables are sprouting all over the world, Wakanda, London, Sydney, and the Avengers are trying to help. And so Cap shows up and Ted pulls him in, and the big twist of the book is, y'all want spoilers or no spoilers?
Well, I guess so. I mean, I'm gonna read it because I like this X-Men lineup, but go ahead.
He had the super soldier serum, but it was not working. So they've kind of retconned the origin to this. They've retconned a lot. It used to be Ted Sallis was out with his special lady friend out in the swamp working on this, and then she turned him over to Hydra. He abandons her and injects the stuff into himself. Now he has like a family. That was actually his wife. His wife ratted him out. AIM came after him. He knew the stuff didn't work. So like you do as a scientist, you call forth the devil. So he calls forth Belasco to create Man-Thing. And so Belasco is the reason that Man-Thing exists. And that's why he has the magical power to handle the... what is the area? God damn it, my mind is just fried this morning.
Limbo.
No, not Limbo. He's the guardian of the...
Some zone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm really off this morning.
It's all right.
It's comics, dude.
I'll try.
It's not you. It's not you. It's comics.
So, so that's why he's the guardian. Is Belasco was the one who created this serum that he used that created Man-Thing. That's why Man-Thing has these powers over. He's the guardian of the dimension. I forget which one they can go through, and that's how he met Howard the Duck and everything. So in the second book, who is it? Spider-Man. Steve Orlando's doing this, and he's got a pretty good grasp on the character, way better than the last one, which was the R.L. Stine run, which I recommend no one read. In fact, if you find...
Wait, hang on.
R.L.
Goosebumps guy?
wrote Man-Thing. and it is so fucking terrible. It is.
He made him talk.
Yeah,
which is dumb.
It's like he never knew who the character was. He just said, "Well, I guess I'll just make him do this."
He's like, "Oh, this is Swamp Thing, right?"
Yeah, it just is so bad. So they're kind of redefining Man-Thing in this book by giving it this Belasco background. So by the time you get to the third book, they're trying to call forth Belasco, and of course he's no longer the leader of Limbo, and so Magic shows up, and so she starts to talk with him because they had a deal with the devil, and so now she's going to rework it for him. So
the dude with the sword is Belasco. I fucking love Blackheart, which is why I pulled this picture up too.
Yeah,
since that's the one I found. Which Marvel needs to bring these guys back. Sorry, Clay. Yeah.
So is this like is this basically like Marvel Comics Man-Thing version of Faust? Is this like a Faustian bargain that he makes?
Well, yes, but because now Liliana can can take care of the deal, I don't want to spoil the end unless you want me to spoil the end.
Well, like I said, leave the I would. Can you leave the X-Men spoiler out? Because I do want to read this book. I just haven't gotten to it.
Man-Thing comes through different. Ted comes through different. I really enjoy it. This is probably one of the best Man-Thing stories I've read in a long time, since probably Steve Gerber stuff. I mean, nice. I can't think of anything, any of the short stuff that they've done recently, but I just remember that R.L. Stine being bad. But
Marvel loves to do these like 3-issue crossovers that are not really crossovers, but they're also not series. Like they did one for Typhoid Mary a couple years back, and it was the same books. It was Avengers, X-Men, and Spider-Man, which makes sense because those are their more popular titles.
Yeah,
so
it's like the 3 tent poles.
Yeah. So this is a Typhoid Mary story that crosses over all these 3 things. So this feels very similar. So I was gonna read it. I was just gonna wait till it was on Marvel Unlimited because I don't want to buy it, but I'm already paying for the service. So,
but that's what I've been doing.
Wait, I did have Clay. I tried to find. So you teased us with you bought some variants of something, and I went back and you didn't give me a lot to work with, so I couldn't.
Because you're Captain Variant.
Well, that's the thing. There's too many variants.
Wait, what did Daniel just say?
There's too many. No, I mean, there's too many for me to guess. Not for me to buy.
Many.
Not for me to buy. But there's too many for me to guess. So I'm gonna need you to tell me what the hell did you get?
I've got them right here.
Yay!
Nice.
Hold on, let me give you a single.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. So
I really love this cover.
That's so cool.
Who's the artist?
You know what? I don't know.
Here, I'll look it up while you guys talk.
Well, in fact, you're going to need to look up just the variants for that first one because the other Avengers one was this one, and I think it's Patrick Gleason.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
And there's a Spider-Man one just like this, but I got to step away for a second.
Okay. Great. Well, that was cool. Josh, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I've actually been reading comics. Go figure. So I caught up on Spider-Woman. And I know all the news around it was she returns to her, like a new version of her original costume, which is my favorite. I love that costume.
Yeah, the original's the best, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they've been doing some fun stuff with it in these 2 issues since she got it, which is she basically it's a gift. I'll put that in scare quotes because the superhero costumer to the stars basically like was involved in everything in that first storyline. So she's like, you owe me. So she made her this new costume. And in the 2 issues that have come out so far, she's discovering all these things about the costume. Like there's this great moment where she's in a fight and she falls off a building and she's like, oh my God, I hope she put flight in this, you know, like, or in the most recent one, there's this very cool thing where, you know, again, like the classic costume, almost from the animated show, when she puts her arms out, she's got that webbing under here. She discovers she can remove those and they become like steel tipped fans that she fights with, which is really awesome. I've really enjoyed these 2 issues. I feel like there was a very clear purpose to the first storyline. And I feel like some of that storyline got derailed by, I'm assuming, having to dovetail into the King in Black, right? This just feels much more like reading, which, as I've said many times on the show, reading classic superhero comics from the 80s, right? But updated. So there's like an A plot and a B plot. She is, and by she, I mean both Pacheco and the artist. They're both very good at, I think at this point, with their comfort level with the character, how the character is portrayed. I was about to get a little turned off by the B plot that they've been setting up now in issues 11 and 12. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but it has to do with her relationship. And Pacheco just does this amazing thing at the end of issue 12 where I think a lesser writer would have stretched out this B plot, and she just chose not to. It's really well done. So I'm totally back on board. I'm loving where this is going. The humor is great. I like the main plot with the 2 villains that she's writing or fighting. I'm sorry. The reveal is one very much is kind of anti-colonial. It's very much a story of the moment, but she never really doubles down on it, which I think is great. It keeps things purposeful but light. So caught up on that. I finally got around to reading Beta Ray Bill, and I love it. I love it. It is tons of fun. The writer and the artist, I love his style, and it reminds me so much of reading THB by Paul Pope. There's like that. There's that like
I never even thought about connecting to Paul Pope's art style there. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've noticed in this kind of newer generation of artists, there's like a little contingent that very much seem to have been inspired by Paul Pope, right?
Yeah.
There's that inking style, kind of the character design, stuff like that. It's wonderful. It's great. I said in the show notes that it's problematic, and the reason it's problematic, and I think it's going to resolve this through the story. Was it just me? Was anyone else really bothered by the whole story hinges on I don't like how I look? Like, did that bug anyone else? Like, I was really, really bugged by this.
I think so here's the way I took it, and I definitely agree, because there's a moment when he talks to Lady Sif.
Oh yeah, that would
wow. So one thing that I wasn't sure of until I kind of read this, and Daniel Warren Johnson's been doing an amazing job. I love his previous work on Extremity and the Wonder Woman Dead Earth, but in this one now that I guess the Thor book is kind of done with Beta Ray Bill, because it feels like it's done now that he's going off in his own series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he can't turn back into his normal self, I think that's what's troubling him. Not that, obviously he looks weird because he looks like a horse. But the fact that he can't become himself again, maybe he's afraid of losing himself into who this Beta Ray Bill, this version of himself is. I think that lack of control, because he never had a choice in any of that, right? He was picked by his people to be genetically altered.
Yeah.
And then Odin, because Odin found him worthy, he gave him a reward.
Yeah.
He gave him a reward, and that was taken from him. And I think that's what's driving this whole. I don't think he has a problem with the way he looks so much as that control has been taken from him.
Right. No, I agree, and I feel like that's the undertone of everything, but it really places at the forefront his appearance, right? Like there's a moment where he sees his reflection. I don't know, it really rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm not saying that those sorts of stories can't be told. Of course they can. But it felt, I don't know, it just felt very weird for me. And I think it may be because like I'm reading it, like when I sit down to read, I pick up the books I'm subscribed to, right? So I'm reading Spider-Woman, and then I read Beta Ray Bill. Mm-hmm. And the thing I love about Spider-Woman is the way, and I meant to take a screenshot and post it so you could show up, I forgot, but the way that the artist depicts her in a way that is powerful but still realistic. I love that about that book, right? She's not hypersexualized. She's not, which is hard to do with that OG costume, by the way, because man, it just really emphasizes the chest.
It's painted on.
But yeah. But and then to go from that to a book where Beta Ray Bill is like very upset with his appearance. I don't know. I may have just been in the wrong mood when I read it. I have no idea. But yeah, it was. But that aside, the book is amazing. It's fun. The story is wonderful. I like how the cast interacts. It's awesome. It's great. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it. That was just the one problematic thing I saw with it.
Yeah, that's. I haven't read it yet. I've seen the first two out there though, and everyone else has read it.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've read the first only.
I mean,
I
think Bill. This is the new buddy cop issue that basically, I think, for me, has dethroned Booster and Beetle.
I can see that. I can totally see that. Yeah.
Clay's face is like, "Are you kidding me?"
Wow. Okay, that's what I'm doing after the show.
It's 2 issues to catch up. You gotta read. Oh my God,
it's good.
Didn't we just get announced the new Blue Beetle and Booster Gold series, like a mini series? I think DC's doing.
Yeah.
Sorry, DC, too late. Yep. You already got the buddy cop series we need.
Just real quick. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'll let you finish your point.
I was gonna say if I could put a plea out to Marvel right now, I would love to be able to buy a large poster-sized print of the double-page spread of.
Yes, when he's walking around Scuttlebucket. Just it reminds me like the design, like they have an inside of Scuttlebucket, like all the different rooms and staircase, and has little.
It's awesome.
Different points has Beta walking around. It's amazing.
Yeah, cool. It is so cool. I want a poster of that. I want to frame it. I want to put it on my wall. Sorry, Dave, go ahead.
I was just gonna go back to Clay's real quick. So this cover was by Joshua Cassara.
Okay.
And then the other cover, you were correct. It was Patrick Gleason.
Oh, so good.
So yeah, this one's both of these covers are really good. All right, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah. So for the Dallas Comic Book Club this month, we read.
We read Die. I like that you're saving the other one till the end because you know.
I am. I totally am. Yeah. We read Die Volume 1 by Kieran Gillen and Stephanie Hans, and man, that book is amazing and amazingly depressing. It is it is so intense. But if you're not a fan of playing tabletop role-playing games, there's a lot in this book to love. My comment was this book has a setup just in the first, I don't know what, maybe 5, no, it's more than that, maybe 10 pages. That for me is the perfect setup to any story that will draw me in, right? It's got everything that I love. It's got weirdness and mystery and something you can't explain and characters who can't like explain what happened to them. It is immediately pulls you in. If you play tabletop RPGs, there are just all these little touches to it that just add meaning without it being a necessity, right? So it's good. It's a fantastic book. Highly recommend. Just
here's the best praise I can give this book is that during book club we met for about an hour and a half, and not once did we tangent away from the book.
Wow.
Nope.
I think maybe
It was booked
one
straight
time.
through.
Yeah, it was all booked all night.
Book.
All booked all
Yeah.
night. That's how good.
Yeah,
that book
Daniel's right. That is the highest praise we can give any book that we read. So highly, highly recommend that. I'm going to just mention 2 things I watched real quick, and then we'll get around to the thing that I'm going to be taking out.
Fine,
was.
Josh.
Main event.
I rewatched Ralph Bakshi's Wizards because I'd forgotten I bought it on Blu-ray like 3 years ago. It's just sitting on the shelf. And I last watched it in high school. Is how long ago that was. So yeah, Age of Dinosaurs. But I have a love-hate relationship with Bakshi. I really, really liked rewatching Wizards. I think the review I left on Letterboxd was, this movie wants to be timeless and is exactly a product of its time. It feels like what if let's make a Lord of the Rings for 1977, and keep in mind this movie came out it was like a month before Star Wars. It was all in the same time period.
So 77
to the point where to the point where Mark Hamill has a tiny voice acting moment in this movie long before he. Yep.
What?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he is one of the like the guards, the 2 stormtrooper guys that have like the back and forth.
They killed Fritz.
Yep.
Okay, see that's the movie
he's not
that's
that
movie
guy.
I need to see. It's Batchy, but have you guys ever saw Fritz the Cat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen.
I've never
seen it.
Yeah.
Never seen it. Of all his stuff, I love American Pop the most. It's a short film.
And that's the one I need to see. I haven't seen it.
It's so good. It is just, it is rotoscoped, and he uses a lot of that. So there's not a lot of stylized stuff, but the music and the history is probably the best of all his films.
Well, and I would say the reason to also watch Wizards is Plug did a lot of character design on it, and
Mike Plug is awesome.
Yeah, and that I think really carries the film. But what's amazing is you watch this and then you realize, I think the next year, maybe 2 years later, is when he started making his Lord of the Rings films. And you can see how this was in many ways a setup to be able to do that. Even down to towards the end with the big battle scene, there's a lot of his live action army footage that he kind of inverts the contrast of with the big, psychedelic background, which he reuses in the Lord of the Rings film. So
yeah.
Anyway, worth watching.
He did the animated Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Because
he did. No, he did not do The Hobbit. The Hobbit was a different production.
He didn't do Hobbit or Return of the King.
Yeah, those were Rankin and Bass.
Oh, he didn't do Return of the King. That's right. Yeah.
The only movie I think I've seen from this director is Cool World.
Do it. God damn it! I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah, I haven't
seen Cool World
that one, but it does not. I doubt
it's not
it
a very good
up.
movie.
But I'm going to throw this out there. He's seen Cool World, but still you get to see Pulp Fiction.
Well,
Wait. I have an even more terrifying question. Daniel, have you seen Cool World and not seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I was about to say we had issues there.
God, I was about to die inside if you had not seen. Because Cool World is basically Bakshi being like, Roger Rabbit, I can do that and make it sexy, and then voila, Cool World. So
and then he did.
And then he did. So I watched that.
I only watched Cool World because How Did This Get Made did the podcast for it.
Oh.
Now I need to find that.
Yeah. So when they do Pulp Fiction, then maybe I'll watch Pulp Fiction. But I don't think that's one of the movies that they would put on there.
Killing me, Smalls. And then
have you seen his HBO Spicy City series that came out in '97? Ralph Bakshi.
No.
I've got it on my Plex server. I'll get
Is
you.
Is it not on HBO Max?
Okay, cool.
It is not available anywhere.
Oh, it's just spicy.
So 97, because I thought Cool World was the last thing he did, because just prior to Cool World he did or maybe right after Cool World he did that Mighty Mouse Saturday morning cartoon that was brilliant. It was so good.
But it did show Mighty Mouse doing some
Mighty Mouse, but sexy.
He was sniffing the flowers, man.
That's right. The Bad Sheep Mighty Mouse series from Saturday morning. I remember that.
Yeah. So I watched that. My daughter and I continue to watch classic Doctor Who, but particularly the ones that have animated sequences to complete them. And again, I'm just going through my collection, and I forgot I had bought the fully redone, remastered Shada, which, if you've never heard of it, is there was one season of Doctor Who where Douglas Adams, yes, that Douglas Adams of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, was the script editor. And he wrote 3 episodes. One episode got almost nearly complete, which is City of Death. The next episode was Shada. And Shada was halfway through production when strikes at the BBC basically got it canceled. And it's been a long lost episode. And the third one, I think, was Doctor Who and the Cricket Men, which never, ever got produced at all. So they've released Shada in various forms over the years. There was one, I think, like in the late 90s where Tom Baker was hired to come in and kind of read script to fill in the gaps in the story, and it was really rough to watch. In this one, they basically brought back all the living cast members and had them read the script, and they animated the missing sequences, and it is just fantastic. It is really, really good. So we've been watching that. My daughter is super into Hitchhiker's Guide right now. She just finished Restaurant at the End of the Universe, and so this was a treat that she didn't know about. Here's a Doctor Who that we love, and Douglas Adams that we love, and mash them together. So highly recommend that. So finally, though, and I will admit, so way back when we were talking about Stargirl, Kyle and Clay recommended the JSA series by James Robinson and David Goyer. So I bought it on Comixology, and it literally sat on there until last week because I kept trying to read it, and I could not get into it. I just could not get into it.
Daniel,
and finally, I sat
the button.
I know. Well, wait. Hear me out. I finally sat down and said,
like
okay.
the one that kills him?
You just see me like rocket up from my seat through the ceiling. Yeah. I finally sat down last week and said, okay, I'm clearly missing something, right? Maybe I just started it and, something didn't click. I went back and restarted it. I got through the first storyline, and I'm like, God, I'm done. This is just not good. I don't know what it is. There was something that just didn't do it for me. I couldn't figure out what it was.
Is this the 8-issue run, or
Sandman dies and they're all at his funeral and they're coming back to?
Yeah. It's that. Damn it.
Okay.
It's that.
Okay.
One. So Sandman dies. Sandy becomes the leader.
They find the baby who's going to become
gets his weird new powers. They find, which again I find it funny because the one good thing is it is that awful post 0 hour Dr. Fate dies in like the first issue.
Yeah.
Right. He shows up at the funeral with like a knife in his back, and like I'm like, oh, that's cool.
I don't remember this run as well, so I feel weird that I.
Hey, come on! You're killing me, Smalls.
Right. So
done.
what I'm curious about is if maybe there was something prior to the book that I bought that sets up a lot that I needed to really get into this, because I just like I didn't care for. I mean, even though it's like, and it seemed like at a certain point Goyer really takes over the writing, but. It's James Robinson. I didn't like Starman in it. There's like a moment where he like uses his cosmic staff to like blast off the bad guy's hand. And then there's this exchange where someone's like, I can't believe you did that. He's like, I can't believe I did that either. And I'm like, come on, this isn't, what is this?
Now I need to go back. But I also needed to comment. James Robinson also wrote the screenplay for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So
Yeah, I know. He doesn't bat 1,000 all the time. So,
but Starman is a work of art that will never. Has no flaws.
Wholeheartedly agree. So, yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Kyle and Clay. I really gave it the college try, and I just could not. I don't know what it was. I would almost like to know. It just something wouldn't click for me with it.
I think it was probably Goyer taking over because Goyer does not have the same love for Silver Age that Robinson has. He doesn't know the characters like Robinson does. Every time he brings in a Silver Age character, you feel like after a few pages, you know who that character is. Mm-hmm. Like he gives you those just little bits of this is what you need to know because that's who this guy is. So
yeah,
it's okay. Josh is dead to me. Okay,
that's cool. That's fine. That's fine.
Do we need to have a James Robinson episode and we all just go through anything that's not Starman that we absolutely love and need to bring attention to? Okay.
Yes.
I will bring up his Airboy miniseries that he did just a few years ago. That itself is problematic, but it is a great hook to it.
No, I can't believe I'm blanking on the freaking series. No, it's where they make the World War II, the 1950s JSA.
Golden Age?
Golden Age. That alone right there.
Oh, Golden Age. Oh, yeah.
That is a prestige book.
Yeah.
That is a masterpiece. Yeah, that is a really good one.
Put it on the notes. We're going to be doing a James Robinson.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Well, Kyle, do you want to go ahead with what you've been reading?
Where'd be the notes? Okay, so I have been reading, like I said, we've already gone over Better Ray Bill, like I said, the new best buddy cop book out there. Let's see, I've also been doing, Heroes Reborn. Been reading that. That's been kind of interesting. Like the world's been reset sort of where the not the JSA, oh my God. What are they? I can't even think their name. Squadron Supreme. Squadron Supreme are the new team of heroes, and Blade is sort of like the key factor. Like things have been reset. Cap's died in World War II. Thor is this really muscular-looking guy who keeps getting drunk, doesn't know anything about his past heritage, and Blade's kind of walking around the world with this thing. It's like something's not right here, and so you got Hyperion versus Juggernaut, Doctor Doom, and the fact that it's. Good.
Blade sounds like Logan in every X-Men shift. Logan always just like something's not right.
I know, but it's a gem. I'm going to give it a shot. The second issue is dealing with basically sort of like the history of Hyperion on the New Earth. So I'm just kind of waiting to see where it goes.
And Aaron's been writing Avengers, and he writes an awesome Blade. So
yeah.
He's been writing him in there for over a year now. So I'm sure he's awesome in this too.
Been reading the new Fantastic Four still, which has been kind of interesting because the last issue is dealing with Johnny and I say this loosely, Johnny becoming the new Oliver Queen, and I say that being like the next man whore out there when it comes to girls.
Man whore, the sidekick to Man Thing.
The new Guardians is actually good, but they just added Doom to the team.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Justice League: The Last Stand, which is a new one shot, which basically is, I guess, sort of set in the new universe, but it's like they had this one last mission, and John Jones has died, and so they've been split apart, but something's bringing them back together. And so, what's led to the Green Lantern Corps? They bring Lobo in to stand trial, and they're like, we have to do this for John. And apparently Batman's the reason John died, because he made a tactician plan, and it's dealing with them having to go back to Apocalypse. So it's kind of interesting to see where they're kind of going with the story. Let me see. X-Men Legends. Oh, the new X-Men Legends, number 3. If you're a fan of X Factor, back in the early days of X Factor, the art and the story has been really fun.
The Peter David run?
Yeah, no, not but it was who was the artist on this book? It's
Walt Simonson. Oh, the original.
Yeah. Simonson is the artist.
Is this? I haven't heard of this. Is this like the old X-Men Classics title where they're
sort of? It's them going back,
like the backup stories in them.
Sorry, it's them going back telling stories of like just the 80s and 90s kind of run, like the first. Like there we go. Yeah. That's the cover for number 3.
Okay,
I saw that and I was just like, oh, this brings me back.
Yeah, and that's what they're just
right.
Oh, I mean, the Simonsons are both writing and in drawing on it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Oh,
try that.
nice.
Classic
Oh, that's awesome.
costumes.
It's them going back doing classic
Yeah.
X-Men stories, and I'm okay with that. It's X-Men what X-Men should be, not this bullshit Krakatoa, nation stuff that we're getting.
I'm gonna disagree there. I like this, but I also like the Krakoa stuff.
Let me see. X-Men Legends. A friend lent me a copy. He got it from the library, but I read Archie Meets Batman 66, which was a lot of fun. Oh my
that's
god!
awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's all this set in the 60s. And it's basically it's basically think of Batman 66 movie where you have the Joker, Penguin, Riddler, and Catwoman. They basically says, well, our league can't take over Gotham, so let's go take over another city. So they decide to take over and start world domination in Riverdale.
Nice.
And the Batman is trying to find Bookworm in Gotham, but then he sends Robin and Batgirl to infiltrate Riverdale High as teenagers. It's a fun book. Oh my god!
And the art is or the cover is that
the covers they use in here is Mike Allard.
Yeah,
but
Mike Allred.
Oh yeah, he does a lot of the 66 cover stuff.
But at the back of the
awesome.
book, they have all the different variant covers, which are amazing. It's like a little art display of all the different variant covers they had for all 6 or 7 issues.
Hey, have they? I just thought of this last night. I'm sorry, Kyle. But have they posted a release date for those sequel comics based on like Batman '89 and Wonder Woman?
Not that I've seen.
The TV show.
I
I really want those.
Yeah, I think it's June,
Okay.
but
Is
we'll
it?
keep
Okay.
an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that. Yeah.
And then
Cool.
and the last book is I don't know why, but I found a couple issues and wanted to give it a shot. Anybody remembers Malibu Comics back from like the early '90s? Walter Cohen did a book called Raver, and I'm kind of reading a few of those issues again. It was it's different. So basically, the main character is this guy. Whenever he gets really stressed, kind of goes into his own little mental like world where basically his superpowers change each time, and it's just. I'm not saying it's good, but it's different. It's interesting to see Walter Cohen try his hand at writing comic books. I mean, I guess no different than William Shatner writing Tech World, but
but did he really write Tech World?
probably not.
Right.
I have more faith.
Oh, okay.
I have
I was
more
trying
faith
to
that Conan
remember
did
Raver.
this. Yeah, I have more faith that Walter actually probably wrote these and Bill did Tech World.
Because when you said Raver, it made me go to the Stanley 2099 book,
Oh no, that's not Raver. That was a
That's
Ravager.
Ravager.
That's
Ravager.
Yeah.
We reissued a lot of names in the
A lot,
90s.
a lot of names from the 90s starts with an R and have a V in them.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, you're going pretty fast, but I think I got a few pictures in there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go that quick. It was just.
It's all right. I'm just kidding.
I mean, we talked about a lot of the books. I kind of
Did you read Heroes Reborn? I was away from.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I was telling them, it's like Blade is the kind of linchpin who kind of remembers that this isn't the world, and I kind of like it because Squadron Supreme are now like the Avengers super team.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, this feels like an excuse for Jason Aaron to write the JSA. The JLA.
JLA.
It also feels like, hey, what if we do House of X but different with the Avengers instead of the X-Men?
I mean, they're redoing Heroes Reborn. I mean,
it's going to be a separate event.
Yeah.
I'll say this: if Heroes Reborn is its own subset of comic books with no tie-ins to anything else, I actually give them props because that's what we were talking about. We don't want event books that are dropping into 50 other books that we have to read. If it's its own little thing that just maybe lends itself to 6 to 8 issues and that's all it is, I'm good.
Now, one of the times I'm really interested. One of the times I'm really interested in is this one. I haven't read it, but it.
Peter Parker.
Yeah, there is.
Amazing
Shutterbug.
Nice.
Because it's like what I mean. Go ahead, Josh.
No, I'm sorry, Daniel. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say because it's like Peter Parker eventually becomes Jimmy Olsen, right?
Yeah.
But it's really interesting because Mark Bernard of Batman Beyond fame is doing this, and his comics always kind of have something to say, more than just the story of superheroes. So I'm interested in reading that.
Second issue deals with, like I said, it's dealing with the backstory for Hyperion. There's a shot where he's fighting the Hulk above the Daily Bugle, and you see Peter right there. And the next shot is just Hyperion using his ray blast and punching holes through the Hulk's body. And it's like, dear God, how fucking strong is this guy?
Very Superman. How very Superman of him.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Yeah, he's Superman. He's Superman without a conscience, basically.
So I find it weird that I'll bring back Heroes Reborn is a weird flex. Does anyone have fond memories of Heroes Reborn? That
Captain America's
revisiting?
chest.
Well,
yeah, I mean that's it.
This is only Heroes Reborn. I mean, I guess they are kind of doing the same thing, but I think this is going to be different because, like I said, that was a pocket universe. This feels more like it's like something has changed, like reality in this Earth. It's like Blade being the linchpin of like something's not right here. Like he's going around, finds Thor, says, "Hey, something's different," and Thor is like, "Just go away. I want to get myself drunk." He's trying to figure out why there's been a Captain America there is Captain America, but he died in World War II.
Yeah,
all this, and then basically, good.
Well, I guess my question is why reuse that title?
Yeah.
Why reuse
right?
war?
Just no, I know, and I would say the exact same thing. Like, what was the purpose of revisiting that?
No, I guess I can agree with you.
If
here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. They in the 90s they made Heroes Reborn. They had to bring in outsiders. Marvel had to bring in outsiders because Marvel was failing, and they needed successful people. So now I think this is kind of like Marvel's flex at like we are using the most Marvel guy we have, which is Jason Aaron, right? So it could be. Okay, Kyle, do you have anything else?
I think that was it. I think pretty much all I had was books. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, I got a bunch of things, so let's just hop right into it. For anyone that... So I've been to the theater multiple times now.
What?
Because I fucking love going to movies.
I believe it.
I went to watch Demon Slayer.
Was the theater open?
Oh, no.
Yeah, did you break it?
I just sat out there. That was weird. So the reason I decided to go the first time was because a new Demon Slayer movie came out, which is an anime movie.
Oh, it's only going to show in the theater, right?
It's only showing in theaters until like July, and you can go back and watch the full review I did for the movie on the channel. But this is the highest grossing movie in Japan ever. It dethroned Spirited Away, I think, was the one before this.
Oh wow, yeah.
So
or Your Name. It was Your Name.
I think it was Spirited Away.
Oh, okay.
But I was, and I really like this anime. Anyways, the other cool thing is that this movie is canon to the anime, as opposed to sometimes the movies are just kind of like side stories that aren't really canon.
You mean like Dragon Ball?
Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, that was cool. So I went to the theater. It was fine. People there wasn't a lot of people there because I went on a Monday evening. But then yesterday I went to watch Spiral from the Book of Saw, which is a Saw movie with Chris Rock and Sam Jackson in it.
Yeah.
And of course, it was fucking awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a thing, so I've been waiting.
If you're a fan of Saw, they're like mainly I like the Saw movies, but mainly the original, the first few. It definitely got away from them in the latter when they really just kind of wanted to do more stuff. Now, I'm going over to I'm going over to Rotten Tomatoes. Don't listen to the Rotten Tomatoes because it has a 39 critic score, but a 76% audience score. So the people that are going, they're liking this movie. And I'm gonna do a video, like a full review video for this movie, but it feels like it recaptures something that the original movie made, which was like it's actually trying to say something, not just show people being killed. The fact that Chris Rock is in it feels very meta because Chris Rock is not a dramatic actor. Every time he has that serious face, I'm like, No, but you're Chris Rock. Like, this is, and the fact that Samuel L. Jackson is in a Saw movie, it's fucking mind blowing. So yeah, if you get a chance to, if you feel comfortable going to the theater, it's only 90 minutes, so which is the perfect length for movies, I think, because they tend to get a little long. And in the spirit of
Zack Snyder.
Well, that's an excellent segue, because I also went to watch Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead in theaters.
It'll be on HBO next week.
It'll be on Netflix next week. I understand.
Oh,
that.
Netflix, yeah.
Listen here, Clay. If I'm gonna go back,
you're willing to die for Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead.
For his art,
I'm gonna join the dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna join
for his 5:4 screen ratio.
No, I wanted the first live action movie I went back to the theater to be something special, and this one is something I've been waiting on for a long time. So, but yeah, once again, I went when there wasn't a lot of people, and I'm fully vaccinated. The CDC told me I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Only Daniel's going to say after a pandemic that the most special movie he could watch is a zombie film.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the movie. Like I said, I'm gonna do another video for this with my buddy Austin, because he went to watch it just so he could do the video. So we'll put that out in the channel next week. But overall, fuck, this movie rules.
Oh, Jesus,
fucking awesome.
How was Batista in it?
Oh, he's so good. He is such a good actor. Like, I think I know John Cena and The Rock are also wrestlers that turn into movie actors, but I feel like it feels like they have one bit, and they're good at it. The Rock is great at what he does, right? But I feel like Batista has range in different
I don't know. I need to wait and see it. I can't believe I'm going to say this. It'll probably be the one I ever watched, but the new Fast film.
I will say his scene in Blade Runner.
Yeah,
like I didn't even recognize him at first. I was like, God, who is this guy? And then I saw it was him. I was like, oh, he's got chops. He's really good.
Yeah, they know how to. They bring him into the room, show his size, and then just give him a quiet moment to act, and it's so good.
Yeah. Well, they've been posting pictures and raving about the new Dune coming out.
Yeah,
that also.
Oh, nice.
I dropped a link to an article that I really enjoyed about how they removed Chris D'Elia from the movie and put in Tig Notaro, because she basically filmed the entire movie by herself.
Yep.
She's the only one there. They said that in the article there's a handful of scenes where she does have to touch another actor, so they had to bring in an actor for those scenes, but she essentially was able to do the entire film separate from the scenes that had already been shot, because they were replacing Chris D'Elia.
I think for the most part, 90% of people, if you didn't know that she replaced Chris D'Elia, you wouldn't even think about it in the film. Like, there's maybe one or two scenes where it's a little more obvious, which is like it's some group shots and stuff like that where you can kind of tell that it's being digitally added back. And you guys, I mean, I recommend you guys can watch it on Netflix next week. So but yeah, it was really cool. Had a fun experience. Now, this is the part that's gonna get me in trouble with you guys next, because I went down a real rabbit hole this past few weeks.
No boy.
I watched Without Remorse, which is the new Tom Clancy movie starring Michael B. Jordan on Amazon Prime. Because I like the movie was good. It was great. But then here's what the rabbit hole happens. Amazon Prime then recommended I watch Clear and Present Danger with
Harrison Ford. Oh my God.
Which I had also never seen. And I looked at the description and it said Jack Ryan. I was like, hold on a fucking second. Harrison Ford was Jack Ryan? Because
you know how many actors have played Jack Ryan?
Well,
let's see.
Now he knows.
Alec Baldwin.
Ends the rabbit hole. So what happened in the past few weeks is that I watched those movies kind of in reverse release order. So I watched Clear and Present Dangers, then I watched Patriot Games,
which has an excellent score by James Horner, by the way.
And what did you end on Hunt for Red October?
Well, hold on a second, no spoilers here. Patriot Games was dope. Sean Bean's in it, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna die." But I really like Harrison Ford as Jack Ryan.
Yeah, I don't mind the films.
And then I kept going. So yes, I did end up watching Hunt for Red October, which is available on Pluto TV for free, but you can only watch it in Spanish. So I just went ahead and yeah, it's weird.
Oh
my god!
Okay, I know why. Because the way they get their shows and then they just kind of line them up in channels, they only have them for so long. So they may buy a Spanish version and not get an English version for their Spanish stations.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, I
exactly.
Now, did you watch the one with Tom Cruise though? Because he plays Jack Ryan at some point too.
No, Jack Reacher.
Jack
That's
Reacher,
true.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, Chris Pine plays him. Ben Affleck plays him.
Yeah.
So that's the one I'm missing. I gotta say, so far my favorite Jack Ryan is Harrison Ford. But it's only between him and Alec Baldwin. Which Alec Baldwin, like, he's fine, but in a movie with Sean Connery, like, fucking Sean Connery is gonna shine, right?
Yeah.
Also, spoiler alert for this movie, Sean Connery is not the bad guy, but I thought he was for like 90% of the movie.
I love the spoiler alert for a 40-year-old movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking yeah, it's great. I never cared about submarines so much. But yeah,
I think we should call the segment "I was in junior high, dickhead," because every one of us is like, this is just like fucking Saigon, right? And you're like, I was in junior high, and then you start telling us about you discovering Jack Ryan.
So yeah, next I'm gonna watch the Ben Affleck movie, The Sum of All Fears, and then finish it off with Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit with Chris Pine.
That is the worst one. Don't watch that.
No. Isn't the guy from The Office? Did he play Jack Ryan also?
I've watched.
Yeah, on the series.
Yeah. It's very, that first season is slow and dull. There's not a lot it has to offer other than look for a Rainn Wilson cameo.
I will say the first season feels a lot like Clear and Present Danger expanded into a full season. I don't know if they're based on the same book, because it has to do with South America stuff, and like it's very much Clear and Present Danger, like as far as the overall plot. But yeah, I'll finish watching that. I like the Jack Ryan show. The first season is not as good, but the second season it really picks up. I think. So yeah, that was the rabbit hole. I mean, you guys be mad because I watched 3 really old movies and not Pulp Fiction. So
my God.
Just
do we need to raise it? Do we need to do a GoFundMe to get you to watch Pulp Fiction?
That's our 1,000 subscriber goal. So when we get
1,000 subscribers, you're gonna finally watch Pulp Fiction.
Hell yeah.
God.
All right.
I
did read some comics.
You read comics? Holy shit!
Yeah, I don't know how I find the time. I'm really.
Well, in 3 weeks.
I'm really fucking awesome.
A humble brag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. One of my favorite things I read this week, because I love the DC anthologies.
Oh yeah.
The Festival of Heroes, a celebration
of
raging superheroes.
The podcast I brought up on the show, they call me Bruce. They're both interviewing the actual, not producer, but the person who put that together, Jennifer Chen, I think is her name.
Yeah, the editor. Yeah,
I think editor.
Jessica Chen, I think. Yeah, I follow her on Twitter. So I had to buy the variant by Art Gym because it's Batgirl and it's Cassandra Cain.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome looking.
Again, I say, how the hell did you say there's too many variants earlier?
Well, I was just saying there's too many variants for me to guess what Clay bought, not.
Okay, not to buy. I got it.
I ruled out Scotty Young, so that took a huge chunk of them out.
Yeah, I'm halfway through the book. There's 10 stories in this book with. I didn't even know there were so many Asian superheroes, so it's really nice to see. I haven't gotten to the Monkey Prince story, which is a new superhero they made for this book.
Yeah. Have you seen the variant cover for Monkey Prince?
I was looking for it, but neither shop had it because it's a 1 in 25.
Yeah, Zeus has it. You want to know what it's going for?
I'm gonna say like $45, maybe
$75.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Very. I went to Zeus for the first time in a couple of years, and since the pandemic, and they're just a pop and variant store. I mean, with no conventions, they have like pops everywhere, and variants of every kind. I saw damn near everything. That's why I got those man things, because they had stuff going back that far. But they had stuff I had never seen. A lot of those Alex Ross covers he did, they took the pencil sketches and turned those into variant covers. So I found a bunch of those. But again, $30-$40 a pop.
Yeah, they're pricey. The other book I read was X Corp, the new X-Men book, because obviously if it's a new X-Men book, I got to read it and subscribe to it and add it to my pull list.
You poor bastard.
Yeah. So this book is written by Tini Howard with art by Alberto Foche and colors by Sonny Go. This follows Angel and Monet Sinclair, who is right now going by the name Penance. They are making a corporation for the X-Men because they're tired. Like they want to show the world that they can also run a corporation better than anyone. Pretty much, that's the pitch of this book. And I'm like, corporate shenanigans in the X-Men world? Hell yeah, sign me up. They mentioned board of directors like 5 different times in this book, and they are recruiting their board of directors. So I'm interested. I like the X Factor version that was I think it was Peter David when it was run. It was ran by a corporation, like X Factor worked for a corporation back in like 2012. So this book seems interesting, but I think the more interesting part is that Angel is still Archangel, and Monet Sinclair has that. She's also, because she has, I think she absorbed like her brother or something. When she gets angry, she transforms into like this penance thing that's weird looking, kind of like a demon almost.
Yeah.
So they are both like struggling with alter egos, kind of like very, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type of situation. So that can't turn out well.
Now, what do you think of a corporate storyline?
I think the first one, it was interesting. I don't know that it really hooked me. I'm gonna wait for the second issue. I think the one thing about these X-Men books is that they are really slow because they have so much time and they're kind of being led by Hickman, who likes to be a little bit more decompressed.
Yeah.
That you feel that throughout all the books. Like there's not except for I want to say maybe the Cable book is pretty fast paced, but that's I think Benjamin Percy's writing that.
Yeah.
So, and because those books have an end in sight, like Cable's about to be finished in issue 12. I think books that have an end in sight, they have a different pace than the ones that are kind of ongoing like this.
And so is this corporate book going to be ongoing, or is this short?
Right now, it feels like it is ongoing. I mean, they could do 12 issues, and I feel like they'd be able to tell a really good story. And it's plenty of time to have an X-Men book because it's a full year of publication.
Real quick, because of the story you're talking about, I want to drop in another recommendation. Wildcats version 3.0, Joe Casey did this like a decade ago where superheroes become a mega corporation. And so Halo starts putting out infinite batteries. You only need to buy them once. And they start kind of fixing everything in the corporate world to where, we can sell you stuff, but it'll be perfect. You'll never have to replace it. They kind of take their alien knowledge to a whole nother level. And so I'm wondering if that's what they're going to do in X-Men, if they're going to take all the drugs and the plants that they've been growing and take it to another level.
Well, yeah, and one of the recruits for the board of directors is Multiple Man, who has, as of this point, been in charge of that whole lab of the plants and everything, right? So, yeah, Jamie Madrox is really good in this book.
Yeah, there's like corporate espionage in this other book because like Grifter works for the corporation and it's wild. It's when Wildstorm was back on their own, so there's no DC stuff in it. But Joe Casey and Dustin Nguyen, Awesome book. Can't recommend it enough.
I like the art a lot. The cover.
Hey, Daniel. When issue 2 is just a facsimile of the incorporation legal documents, are you still going to be into it?
If it has some art, if it has pictures in it.
It won't. It's just going to be legal papers.
Oh. They can have diagrams of their stuff. You never know.
I don't know. I want to like all of this. It's so overwhelming. I don't want to read all of this. I just don't.
I definitely.
Oh God, Hickman.
I definitely agree and understand. This is not a ride you just sign up for.
Look, you know my standpoint on all this. I'm just leaving it there.
And here's the thing. I did sign up for it. I read the 2 series that set this up. I was into it. He had me. And then right out of the gate, it's like, here's 12 titles you have to read. Idiots. Like, come on, man. Just tear it down a little bit.
Forget everything else. Just read X-Men and Legends.
Yeah, no, I may. Yeah.
The last comic I'll talk about, and I forgot to put this in the notes, but I was going through my comic list and I realized that I did read it. Maybe I don't know if we talked about. Did I talk about Friend of the Devil, the other Reckless, the next Reckless book? Did we talk about that last time?
No.
The Brubaker and Sean Phillips book.
I don't think so.
Okay, well I read that.
No, I think it came out since we last met, right?
Yeah, I just got it when I went to Urban Legends this past week.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, this book, it's another fucking banger. I love it. These storytelling, like I love Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Oh, you know what? I think we did talk about it when we did when we did Falcon and Winter Soldier, because we had just seen the Brubaker interview with Kevin Smith.
I think they had just announced it. Like
that's what it was.
It was like, this is coming out soon. So,
Well, I read it. It's worth the buy. It's another beautiful hardcover. The story is pretty interesting. I really like the character of Ethan Reckless, which is dope name for your pulp character to have. So I can't recommend it enough. And they announced that their next book is coming out in October. So Sean Phillips is a machine.
Yeah, man, they're just knocking stuff out.
He's part printer. So the last thing I'll talk about, because I don't know if you guys have seen it. Have any of you guys watched Jupiter's Legacy?
Not yet.
Netflix show? Okay.
Because I have the graphic novel and I kind of wanted to read it first.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat with this as I am with Invincible. I kind of want to read it before I watch it. So
see, that's interesting. I would rather watch it first and then go back to the source material, because that's what I'm doing with Invincible.
I don't want it to spoil the source material. Is the thing. I'm a classic. The book is better than the movie guy.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So I would.
If so, here's, because I do this thing with anime as well. I'll watch the anime first and then go back and read the manga, so I can fully appreciate the original story and to see what kind of changes they made. I'm sure they streamlined this a lot, because it's only 8 episodes for season 1. But I am curious to see what you guys think in the future. Overall, I'm gonna say it was fine. It was telling 2 stories. I like one story better than the other one. The special effects are a little sus for a Netflix show. Like, I think after watching Umbrella Academy, I think they could have done some more stuff better with like superhero stuff. But I mean, I watch one a day for the past 8 days or whatever. So it wasn't too bad. It was just because they're about 45 to 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the.
How many episodes?
There's only 8. It's about 8 hours total. They kind of make some of them are longer, some of them are shorter, but the last episode feels a lot like an epilogue. So I think 7 really feels like the end of the season. But yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of the book, which I mean, it's Millar and Frank Quietly, so I don't see how you couldn't like it.
But Quietly's just doing covers, right? He's not doing interior.
I thought he did the first few arcs.
Did he do okay? Because I thought I flipped through that book and saw some like different art in there that wasn't his.
Oh, maybe I'm talking out of my ass, Clay. I don't know. But yeah, overall,
I mean, I love the covers. That's the thing that made me pick up the book. But I noticed that I've done that before with Grant Morrison's Batman and Robin book, and he didn't do any interiors in those. He just did the covers. And so I looked in this one, and the art looked very classic. It was very, oh gosh, who am I thinking of?
oh, you know what? I think you're right. I think it's Wilfredo Torres that's doing the interiors.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, that's nice.
But that's still, yeah,
like
it's still like
Torres.
his work. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of has that classic, I want to say Darwin Cook type, but not, Darwin has his own faces, but he has that classic style.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And
It feels very like 1940s, 1950s kind of era comics, which seems apropos for a story like that.
Wilfredo Torres is going to be the artist on that book that Josh mentioned earlier, the Superman 78, tying to the movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
But
so
that's about it. That's about it. There's a few things I'm excited for. And I've done videos for some things. Like I watched that Yasuke anime about the Black Samurai. Super dope if you like anime. I'm about to dive into Castlevania.
Yeah, that's
No, I still haven't done that yet. I keep meaning to.
Yeah.
Warren Ellis.
Well, yeah, he's left the show, but I've made.
But it's Warren Ellis' work, which is interesting because I mean his work is his work, and if you're going to watch it, because I mean there's a billion other people involved with an animated show like that, it would still be interesting to see his take on a video game.
And he was in the showrunner for seasons 2 through 4. He was only the showrunner for season 1. So yeah, I've made my peace with Warren Ellis being involved. And so I'm gonna go back and watch it because it's vampires and vampires doing cool shit. I've never played the games. I mean, I've seen them, and I kind of know what the games are about. But all right, yeah, that's about it. That's all we've been doing a lot of stuff in the past few weeks.
A lot.
Like I mentioned, stay tuned for full reviews of Spiral and Army of the Dead, and it'll be mostly non-spoilers.
Cool.
So, all right, well let's dive into the news. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to specifically.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one thing to talk about.
Well,
I do have a coda to the thing that Kyle's alluding to. Yeah.
yes.
Well, I guess we'll just go start there. I think everybody's all seen the news because it was, of all things, to be trending on Twitter almost the whole damn day, is that new pics have been released for the new He-Man series that Kevin Smith is doing for Netflix.
Who's Kevin Smith? Who's Kevin Smith?
Where's the button for Clay? Where's the button for Clay? I want to eject him out now.
It was mainly trending on Kyle's phone. Because anyone that has met Kyle ever reached out to him.
No kidding. But I'm seeing people go, I don't know why He-Man's trending exactly right now, but let me try to post. It was my friend Brad. He posted that image from Prince Adam with the yeah, or was it Blondie or whatever the song?
Oh, it's Four Non-Blondes.
Yeah, Four Non-Blondes. Yeah. It was just with Prince Adam singing it. It was hilarious.
I for one am looking forward to the all brand new He-Man villain named Tusks. That's just going to be the character from Kevin Smith's Tusks.
Yes, voiced by Justin Long.
Played by Justin Long. Yeah,
Justin Long is one of the voices in the.
Is he really? Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Who is he voicing?
Hold on. You gotta talk all over the
Orko,
video.
Man at Arms, He-Man.
Wow, that's
Skeletor.
That's a long. No. Mark Hamill, Skeletor.
Yeah.
Probably doing the original Skeletor voice.
Look at that.
Yeah,
that's
it looks
awesome.
so good.
The figures that were out looked awesome. I mean, granted, they looked the same as the old stuff. It was just nice to see them on the shelf.
Yeah, the animation was
they're more
super
articulated, which is nice too. Yeah. So my thing about this, which is fine, is I know, Kyle, you were saying it looks a lot more like the later 90s cartoon.
Yeah, 2002 Mike Young production.
Yeah. I wonder if what they did was they took the style of that, but the storyline and the tone is going to be much more like the Filmation
I'm
80s
gonna
cartoon.
say, the way I'm looking at stuff here, like I said, it is a direct sequel to the 1983 Filmation cartoon series. That's what Smith said. But the way the images look, I don't think it's going to be as toned down as the Filmation series was. Because the way they have Skeletor in here and just some of the other images with Beastman or Mossman, it's like, this looks like it's going to be we're going to get a more action-packed show. In the original show, He-Man would never punch anybody. He might pick up Beastman and throw him into a tar pit or something. But this one looks like we're going to get some action. So I think it's going to be a little more
Mossman.
Yeah.
Voiced by Alan Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, the original voice actor for Skeletor.
Yeah.
I will be mad though if they don't have a running
that looks
sequence
good.
of He-Man
Yeah.
running at the camera. They reuse every episode.
This was my favorite design so far.
Beastman looks awesome.
Beastman looks super rad.
Kevin Michael Richardson, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, Mark Hamill Skeletor. I really want to see what he's going to bring to the character. Oh my god.
Oh, he's gonna
look
do
at that.
the original voice. I mean, whoa, Orko looks interesting.
Sarah Michelle Gellar is doing Tila.
Yep.
Oh, he's just as long as Roboto. I knew I saw his name.
Roboto.
Lena Headey is Evil Lynn.
Evil Lynn.
He got a cast for this. Yes.
Awesome casting. She is a queen of hate. Oh man, I just want to feel her evilness come through on the voice.
Now,
I loved her as Sarah Connor, but man, she plays evil way better.
Kyle, I don't know how often you buy Dark Horse comics, but I feel like I found one you're gonna need to pick up.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Because
I saw that.
They're doing a prequel comic. This is a Mike Mignola cover.
What
so excited.
I have all the variants.
I love
I have
it.
to pick up that one.
No,
Yep. Same.
You don't like it? You don't like it, Clay?
All right.
I don't like it.
How do I get Clay out of here? Hold
Daniel, time to go just the two of us. These two don't belong.
Yeah, we're out. It's just
I was having such a nice time, and then Clay just had to go ruin me with his opinion.
Hey man, with my opinion, it's just a pass for me. There are certain Mike Mignola covers I would get, and there are certain things that I totally love, but I just don't think that He-Man is his style. I want to me, it's more dark, gothic.
I'm going to say this. Josh is on strike number 2. First Robinson JSA, and now this. One more strike, and you're out of the show.
I like the Mignola cover.
Yeah, he liked it.
My bad. I'm sorry. I think you didn't like it. Okay.
You can take away my He-Man card.
This is the normal cover, Clay. You can buy this one. Like a basic person.
Like a basic
person.
Like a basic person.
I didn't want to call you the B word.
Oh God.
Hey, Clay, would you like it if it was a crossover called He-Man Thing?
Oh God.
Oh fuck yeah! I'm gonna draw that.
Yes.
Which part should be? Man thing should be the top part, right?
Well, okay. Oh God.
It's like the mermaid. It's like, is the fish part the top or the bottom?
I want Man Thing to be just the head and He-Man body.
Welcome to He-Man Thing.
I think the entire body is Man Thing, but he's wearing He-Man's armor and holding the sword.
God.
But he still wears the boots and the crotch guard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And the furry underpants.
Protect the naughty bits, even if they're plants.
his Man thing.
Oh God.
No, but I'm super excited. I did a video earlier in the week, but I wanted to talk to you guys about it because, first of all, Kyle, super fan. He's been to the convention for
PowerCon. Yeah, and it's happening again this year, and I'm just like, I wish I could go to Cali.
You know what? hopefully next year we can get back to cons. But all right, is there anything else y'all want to talk about Masters of the Universe? I know that was the only piece of news, but if we have to, there are other things we can talk about.
Nah, that was it. We got to end the show right here.
When is the Dark Horse comic coming out? Have
was there a date for that,
it?
Daniel?
That's let me check real quick.
It really drives me nuts. I can't find stuff more than a week or two out on Comixology. I just want to, before I forget, I want to just add it to my wish list or pre-order it. So I don't. It's
Well, let me plug where I don't know who does this website. The League of Comic Geeks is what I use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a
where I
great
used to
site. I
keep
use
track.
it to pull all my books.
Same. That's where I've been pulling
Okay.
a lot of the art I've been showing.
Cool.
So yeah, Revelation comes out July 7th.
Oh
Which
wow, that's late. All
which
right.
is a couple weeks before the show, because the show premieres July 23rd. I'm
Okay.
super
All right.
excited for any kind of trailer. I'm sure it's coming soon.
Well, okay, hold on. I'm on IMDb. I got the full voice cast, at least for right now, for the He-Man series.
Go ahead.
So we've got, other than what we've already announced, Chris Wood as He-Man, Dietrich Bader as Trapjaw, Kevin Conroy as Merman,
Ah,
Liam Cunningham.
Merman?
Yeah, I can see it. Liam Cunningham as Man-at-Arms, Susan Eisenberg as the Sorceress, Phil Lamar as Hero, Jason Mewes as Stinkor, Griffin Newman as Orko, Henry Rollins as Triclops.
Perfect.
Oh, that's brilliant! I love that.
Stephen Root as Cringer, Alicia Silverstone as Queen Marlena, Harley Quinn Smith as Alina, which I think that's probably a new character, Tiffany Smith as Andra, and Cree Summer as Priestess. So, oh my God.
Kevin get that work for his
Wow.
family.
Yeah.
There is something,
Oh my God.
because I can already hear it in my head, about Jason Mewes' Stinkor.
Oh, it's gonna fit. Snoochie Boochies.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. Snickety snick. Oh man.
Snooch to
Well,
the nooch.
I guess I'll throw in there of things. Well, actually, wait. I had a coded to this. So, speaking of beloved 1980s animated series, this came out a while ago, and I just want to preface it with it's not good. But if you're a fan of this property of that era, it's worth playing. And that is the video game G.I. Joe Operation Blackout. The thing that's so great about it is,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
and you can pay to unlock stuff. It's a pretty standard like run around various levels and shoot stuff, but the voice acting, and you can unlock the original 80s style costume and the original, like a remastered version of the 80s soundtrack to play in the background.
Oh wow.
It is like running around the 1980s animated
Cartoon.
show. And it's just, if you grew up with that, it just, again, it's not a good game, but it just brings back all the feels, So
Nice.
worth checking out. And here, I'll post a link to it if you want to show it. G.I. Joe Operation Blackout. Here. I've been playing it on Xbox. I think it's on every system, even on Switch. So
Yeah, it is.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been playing Scott Pilgrim.
I got that too, and I need to play it more.
We played together and just went through just the first chapter to defeat who's her first evil? Oh no, we got to her second evil X, Chris Evans.
Oh, right.
Was he the second?
Well, he is in the game.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna watch this trailer without you guys. No,
I was gonna say you're gonna play some
I was
music, or
gonna
are
say
you
we're-
worried about us getting popped?
It would
You know,
take down.
I've been-
That's what I was
yeah,
thinking.
I keep getting taken down. Another cool thing that came out this week, and I don't know if you guys watched the trailer. I know I sure did. And I'm pretty excited now. I mean, I've been excited about this movie because the first one was kind of a mess, but I love it. But Venom, the 3D Carnage, we got a trailer for it.
Yeah.
Just that opening scene with him making breakfast.
It's I want a sitcom of them just
Did-
hanging out.
Did y'all find the Stanley cameo?
Yes.
I did after, but I
No,
didn't find
where?
it on my own.
It's right as he's walking into the small convenience store.
Yeah, there's a magazine with Stanley on it.
Yeah, Venom reaches over
Oh,
and
I see.
straightens the magazines, and he's on the cover.
Tom Hardy's Venom voice is something out of this world. Like,
Yeah.
it's so weird, but I like it. I mean, I feel like that's what it would really sound like. I guess the only other time we really heard Venom talk, kind of, is in the Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s, right? Well, I mean, I guess any cartoon really.
Oh no, try any Spider-Man cartoon. Any cartoon he's been in, he's had a voice basically.
But I feel like the 90s was the most recognizable one.
I'm gonna go with Spectacular. Spectacular, I thought had a really good Venom in it.
Yeah. So we see that they fixed Cletus Cassidy's hair.
Damn it!
He got a haircut.
I love a good curly redhead.
We saw very little of Carnage, very, very dark scenes, but
I think Woody Harrelson playing Cletus Cassidy is like the perfect casting.
It is. Yeah,
I mean,
that is
I
the
loved
perfect
him in
casting.
War of Planet of the Apes. I mean, he had to play against Andy Serkis and be really evil and stuff, and he is fantastic.
Just, I mean, hell, Natural Born Killers.
that's what somebody kept telling me about, and I was like, oh, I should watch that.
Of course, you're gonna watch Natural Born Killers and no freaking Pulp Fiction.
My God, man, come on.
There's other stuff I was watching then, like Space Jam. and-
Clay's face. but he devoted time to Clear and Present Danger. So let's
yeah.
just
And Cool World.
Cool World.
You watched
In
fucking
Cool
Cool
World,
World,
Cool World.
Pulp
So-
Fiction, and now this.
another really cool thing. Did you guys watch the Marvel put out a trailer which is weird that it was right before May the 4th. It wasn't really a trailer. It was like hey, come back to the movies, Fox.
Yeah. We need money.
Yeah.
We're Disney, and we're kind of losing money.
Like, as much as we love your Disney Plus subscription, we know you're not going to pay $30 for all these movies.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely.
well, I mean, we will when we go to the theaters ultimately.
Right,
You know,
right.
if you add in like food and everything. So
Yeah, they're like, we'd rather you pay us $30 per head at the theater than $30
Right.
at home to watch Cruella.
Bite me.
Which I want to see.
I want to
Yeah,
watch
It
Cruella.
looks great.
I'm not paying $30
I'm
for it.
totally into it.
I like Emma Stone,
Totally.
but I just don't dig these villain stories.
Or
You know.
The first
Oh,
one was
see-
nice. That was kind of cool.
See, I would rather watch these than all the live action remakes of their animated films.
Oh, see, I'm out on
Because
both.
these feel original. These feel like let's take a property people know and kind of reimagine them. All the live action ones are just it's the same story again told worse.
I'm gonna
No.
I'm defending the Jungle Book. I thought the Jungle
Me
Book had
too.
some kind of
I
charm.
think
to
that's
it.
the only one that anyone can defend for some reason.
Yeah,
I like
Because it
that
was-
one.
that's a good
Because it
point.
allowed the other ones to get made. But I mean, you take a Lion King, I don't see a lot of people who are just raving over the live action. They all want to see the animated one.
Yeah.
There's something magic
Yeah.
about animation that is lost in computer animation. Even though you have someone working on it and animating it in a different way, it's just so much different than 2D.
Yeah, totally agree.
But I did put it in the. I mean, not only did we get the Marvel full slate of releases, like all the dates except for Fantastic Four, right?
Well, and there was one other one that didn't have a date.
Well, which one didn't? What other one didn't have a date?
Was it the Wakanda one?
It was right towards the end. It may have been. It was right towards the end. Like the last two didn't have dates because I kept rewinding it to see. I'm like, when's Fantastic Four? And it like, I don't know. But there was another one I want to say.
Oh, okay. I mean, I thought everything had a date, but we. Did
I could be
get a-
wrong. I could be totally wrong.
Somebody will let us know in the comments. We did get our first glimpse at the Eternals movie, and man,
Yeah.
what do you guys think? Where you at on the Eternals?
You know, I really only have one story to relate it to, and it's just the Neil Gaiman one that came out a few years ago.
Mhm.
So it's not something I've always followed. It's not something that I pursue. I will watch it for Black Knight. I will watch it for Kumail.
Yeah.
Those are the things I'm kind of excited to see and see what's going on with this.
I'm gonna save it till I see an actual trailer. I mean, again, people didn't know who the Guardians were, and that
Right.
surprised everybody. So this could be I'm not saying it's gonna be Guardians, but it could be another surprise hit.
Yeah, and
Right.
I'm not saying that Marvel waited till Chloe Zhao won the Oscar to release some footage from her movie,
Yeah.
but it feels like they did.
if she were to get back-to-back wins, especially for another comic book film, that'd be something for her career.
Yeah. I mean, I like the cast is super impressive. I don't know how they got this cast together. Like Salma Hayek's in this movie, Angelina Jolie's in this movie.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
After 13 years of getting big stars in the films that actually do really well, it probably wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony Hopkins. When you get Anthony Hopkins in 3 Thor films, it's kind of hard not to get somebody like Angelina Jolie to maybe say yes to it.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. But I'm pretty interested because I don't know anything about the Eternals. I haven't read the Neil Gaiman comic. I've only read issue 1 of the current ongoing, which it was fine, but I wanted to wait till the arc was completed to read it. So
in that trailer also, something that stood out to me is I know there's been a lot of talk, which I think is ridiculous, about the multiple characters that will be featured in the Captain Marvel sequel, The Marvels. But did anyone else pick up on the fact that when that little S shows up, it looks like Ms. Marvel? And I'm wondering if they're going to introduce her in the film and then she'll spin off into her own show, which they've already announced, right?
I thought the show came out before the movie.
Yeah, so I think from what I read...
Oh, it does? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what I read when I made the video, Josh, was that because Marvel had a full article on it, what's going to happen...
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, in the logo, you can see both Monica Rambeau's symbol and Miss Marvel's symbol.
Yeah.
So it's going to bring in all 3 people that have been Captain Marvel, or I guess related to Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So we'll also see Monica Rambeau from WandaVision on this. So yeah.
This also comes out the day before my birthday. So
there you go.
Yay me.
So you have a perfect excuse to watch it immediately.
I do for once.
Like, this is what I want to watch. So yeah, I think everything else. We found out the title of the next Black Panther movie, which is Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm still.
Yeah,
I'm still. It's still not sure where that movie's gonna go. Like how they can obviously losing Boseman was a big loss for both everyone and the Marvel movie. So I don't know how they're gonna approach that. But I have faith in the work that what's the name of the director?
Is it the same one as the first Black Panther?
Came from the first movie.
Ryan Coogler?
Ryan Coogler,
yes.
Yep. Yeah, so I think they're pretty good about, taking a tactful approach to this, because obviously it's something that it was a tragedy. So we got dates for Ant-Man and the Wasp, February 17th of 2023. Jesus, that's a long time.
I know.
The next Guardians movie in May 5th of 2023.
Oh, God.
Which is, people were angry at James Gunn, like, why is it so long from now? Like, he doesn't control any of that shit. It's not his fault that. It's not his fault that.
Not even to mention he has another film to be worrying about at the moment.
Yeah,
exactly.
And a holiday special that he just finished writing recently.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that.
Batista's been saying like he's pretty much done as Drax after the 3rd film, because like by the time that comes out, I'll be 54. It's like somebody else has got to take over.
Yeah, which doesn't bode well for the character. There's a theory out there. Go ahead, what's up, Clay?
He becomes a pacifist, kind of a monk in the comics for a while.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember whose run that was, but he kind of wears this hood and looks like a little priest. It's funny.
Out of the Guardians, he's the one person I wish they had almost gone with the original version of what Drax was supposed to be.
I think Batista feels the same way.
Yeah,
the saxophone player.
Yes, like he gets by the Celestials, he gets created into somebody who's supposed to kill Thanos. So he's like this guy who's originally human in space with superpowers. Plus I don't know. We talked about it before, but I just don't like the way they make him so. I hate using this term, but autistic of a character in the series. I mean, he's very you don't say of all the characters, he's on the spectrum of the way he just doesn't get stuff or the way he talks and stuff. I mean, it's I don't know. I'm disappointed with the way, and plus he should be a lot stronger too. This is a guy who should be able to go toe to toe with Thanos, and he just basically gets his ass handed to him by what was the main villain of the first Guardians film?
The Ronin.
Yeah, right.
Ronin
He
the
made
Accuser.
Ronin just smacks him away. It's like this guy who should be able to go, "Hey Hulk, let's go at it a couple times." And he's like, I don't know, he's like a whisper of the character that he really is.
He also had come out of a bar drunk, and it was still about. I still feel Drax could hold his own, but at that moment he couldn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
He needed to. Part of that too was them finding themselves together as a team and being able to do that, because at that point none of them are even getting along, and he's just drunk and he's ready to challenge him.
Yeah, I love the first film, but I don't like the
power
lineage.
level.
No, that's one. But I'm not a big fan of how he's progressed in the MCU. Like, I mean, he has some funny moments, but I just don't feel like they did the character justice. Out of all of them, I think he's the one that they've done the least justice to. That's just me. I mean, I don't know if you guys have any different thoughts on it, but
I never read much of him before the comics, and then the comics afterwards kind of wrote him very similar to the movie. So I don't.
Go back and read. I mean, I almost recommend this if you want a book to go back and read after Infinity Gauntlet. Read the Infinity Watch. Because when Adam Warlock and all the team takes on the Infinity Gems, and they give us the power gem to Drax, and he's just
Now another piece of movie. This is probably there's two more movies I want to ask y'all something about. Now this one, I'm not very familiar with the original story. You guys may be more familiar with it. The Green Knight. Did you guys watch this trailer?
I am so hyped for this. I am so hyped.
I have no knowledge on it.
So
I saw it, but I pass. I'm not that excited for it.
When they gave us a trailer last year, I was really hyped for this movie. Only because A24 had been putting out really good movies up until then. I went back, and when this showed up, they give you a little bit more about the story, which is I didn't know this was this is actual lore. Like I thought
I believe it's Arthurian lore.
Yeah, I thought it was just like a retelling of some kind of like.
There was a Green Knight.
Yeah, so the story.
I believe so. I believe so. Yeah. Sorry, Daniel.
The story goes the Green Knight, or not the Green Knight, the whatever tree-looking dude. He comes up to King Arthur and tells him, "I'll make you a deal. If you have one of your knights cut my head off, I'll come back in a year, and then I'll cut his head off, and then there'll be a truce or whatever." So Sir Gawain, played by Dev Patel here, steps up and he's like, "I'll do it," thinking that if he cuts off his head, well, the dude's gonna die. In the trailer, we saw that's not the case. So now he has a year to live before this dude comes back and cuts his head off. But I didn't know there was so much fantasy in this. Like in the trailer, we saw some things that look like giants. There's a talking fox. And there's a lot going on here. So.
And this is a theatrical release?
Yeah.
I thought it was like an HBO thing.
No, A24. And this was supposed to come out last year. In July of last year. Now they just moved it to July of this year.
Well, I like him, and that interests me, but
excited.
the content I'm kind of so I'll wait till I hear from y'all.
Well, you already know what I'm going to say, Clay.
I know.
Well, we'll go see it together, Daniel. How's that?
Yeah. Oh God, I can't wait. Once Kyle's fully vaxxed, we can at least be in the same room for something. I don't know that we'll do. Well, we got to see what the show's going to become.
This is how it's going to be set up. You two are going to go to the theater. We're actually going to hijack the theater and play Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Hey,
Clay, come on.
Checking which theaters we can do that with. I think
if you're going to go through that trouble, I might as well stick around.
Okay.
Now, go ahead, Josh.
Oh, go ahead, Daniel.
No, because I was going to change the topic. So,
well, I was just going to say while we're talking about announcements, just really briefly, CW announced Stargirl season 2 premiere date is Tuesday, August 10th.
August? I thought it was July.
August.
Okay.
That's not what CBR says.
Okay.
So I misread it.
Yeah.
So, so first week of or second week of August. We'll get some Stargirl coming back.
This will be the first season that it goes straight to the CW and not a streaming service like the season 1. Superman's coming back.
Well, it went to both season 1, right? Simultaneously.
Right.
But now it's exclusive to.
We got those extended episodes on the DC.
That's right. Yep.
We have Superman and Lois coming back this week. Legends of Tomorrow's back. I don't know if anybody's been watching.
It's been interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of it. I'm not on a schedule of any kind.
Yeah, it's only 2 episodes that are out. It airs on Sunday nights now, so we'll have episode 3. So hopefully once the season's over, I much prefer talking to you guys about the whole season of a show, as opposed to just one episode at a time.
I'm glad that Superman's back because I tried getting into Supergirl and I just could not do it.
Yeah, me too. Which sucks because I really like season 1 and even 2.
I like season 1.
Well, that's the same with like Flash. And people have been saying Flash jumped the shark already, and I'm almost kind of in agreement because it just
King Shark.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't know.
Jump the King Shark.
I believe his daughter's back this season, which
and Impulse will be in this.
I saw that. I saw they were showing some stuff. One last piece of news. Well, I guess 2 things. First of all, I don't know if you guys are familiar with because the show's running kind of long now, but it's fine. Are you guys fans of the Purge movies?
Yes.
Not really.
Because
I love them. I love them. So let's talk about them.
Oh, here we go.
Well, we might have to do a whole thing, Clay. We saw the trailer for the Forever Purge, which is the 5th Purge movie, I believe. And this one's different. The rules are different. Whoever this group of people are, they don't care about the Purge being over.
Isn't the Forever Purge just pretty much murder for murder?
Trailer looks like the whole world's going insane.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I love? This is going to go back to one of my statements about how you should judge movies. If Frank Grillo's in it, it's better. Frank Grillo shows up in the 2nd movie, he makes it better. He shows up in the 3rd movie, he makes it better. I'm telling you, he's worth watching it because he's so fun.
Yeah, I like those. Are probably the first one's interesting because it's a whole new concept.
Yeah.
And Ethan Hawke and Lena Headey, like they're
so good, and it's so personable in that one. I mean, it's so personal because it's in their house and everything's right there. The second one is open in a neighborhood. It's got QB1 from Friday Night Lights. What's that kid's name?
QB1.
Not Scott Porter, but the one that took over for him when he got crippled.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, he's in the second one. He's great. I just enjoy just kind of these moments in the city that are just quiet, and then all of a sudden just violence out of nowhere. Like that's kind of what I enjoy about the Purge movies.
Yeah, and like you said, Frank Grillo was the perfect addition for those 2nd and 3rd movies. Which are, like I said, are probably 2 of my favorites. The first Purge was weird because also it's like going back. This feels like they're closing the book on the Purge movies, but comes out obviously on Independence Day weekend, which is on theme to what they've really done in the past. So yeah, I'm excited. So maybe maybe Clay and I will do something since we do enjoy these movies.
Yeah, and I will say I think it's on Hulu. Boss Level. Have you guys seen Boss Level with Frank Grillo?
That's the time loop movie, right? Kind of.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to say it's Frank Grillo. So watch it. It's fantastic. He's awesome, and he's the lead.
Awesome. And then to close out, just not personal, because I don't know them personally, but something I was really excited for, and Zack Snyder has stopped giving a fuck about anything. He was at this like premiere for the Army of the Dead, and somebody asked about Green Lantern, and he's like, "Yeah, we shot Green Lantern. I have the footage on my phone."
Motherfucker.
Another reason to hate the man. You could have given us Jon Stewart, but no.
Motherfucker keeping it on his phone.
Screw you. Oh my God.
He's not the one that cut it out.
Uh-huh.
They didn't let him finish shooting it, so they never got shot.
He had $90 million more dollars.
No, but that
he
was,
couldn't
but that
move
wasn't-
that from his phone into a movie.
So,
You gave us Martha Manhunter instead of this
No.
bullshit.
because
That,
because
or he's setting up the extra new Zack Snyder cut.
Oh,
because WB
I'm
did-
out. I'm out. I don't want to give that man any money.
Zack Snyder's Justice League, the director's cut.
Let's go. Let's go.
Criterion Edition.
Hey, it's Jon Stewart. I'm in. I mean, and just seeing that picture, I was kind of like, I want to see it. I want to see it.
There's also
Oh
You
yeah.
get a dead Kilowog, but no Jon Stewart. Come on.
there's also a GQ article that came out recently because he's doing press for Army of the Dead, where he said that Sucker Punch was the first movie that he had a lot of studio interference about, like how to change the movie. And he said, "But yeah, there's a cut of Sucker Punch that's out there that it's my preferred cut." And I was like, "Oh, I love it." He doesn't care anymore. He's like, "Whatever, re-release all my movies."
He's
I
become
am
the next
gonna-
James
Oh my
Cameron.
God.
I am gonna watch Dawn of the Dead this week because I love that movie, and I need to revisit it because of Army of the Dead. So,
I'm out.
but that's about all I had. I saved it till the end because I knew I didn't want you guys to jump out of the show.
Bye.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
All
the
right.
first time we've seen Jon Stewart on film, right? I mean, other than animated.
It would have been,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we see him on a
Yeah.
phone.
Well,
It looks good though.
I don't know. Technically, if you want to count Diggle.
Yeah.
Oh,
but he's
well, we
not
don't-
Jon Stewart. He's
No, he is Jon Stewart. No, he is
His
Jon
na-
Stewart.
His name is John
His-
Diggle Stewart, right? I thought.
John Diggle Stewart, but Ernie Hudson's character was last name is Stewart.
Yeah.
He decided to keep his real name, so that was how they were. So
That's how
technically,
Diggle's still supposed to cameo in all the shows in the next few weeks. I thought.
the next episode of Superman and Lois is directed by David Ramsey, and he's going to be appearing as John Diggle in episode
Yeah.
12.
He's also supposed to be in Legends and
Yeah. So
on
we're about to
Flash.
find. Well, I'm more interested with Superman and Lois because that's actually going to show us where does the actual show take place in like
Yeah.
the history. Is it current? Is it 5 years later? You know.
It also could not show us and just be very big about it.
yeah. They could, I mean, play on Legends for a while and drop him into a timeline that we don't even know.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking
Um,
forward to it, though. I got to admit that, now that you brought that up, I'll probably jump back into Legends just to see him.
yeah, Legends is so good.
It's still good. Yeah, they're dealing with aliens, but it's still the same. It's funny because they have a new character called Spooner, I think now, and she's a female. And they were interviewing her, and she goes, "Had you ever watched any history based on these characters?" And she goes, "No. I watched an episode or two of the first season, and after going back and rewatching news, I'm like, going, that's a totally different show than what we have now."
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
yeah.
That's the season you skip. You just go straight to season 2.
When Spooner came out on the trailer, I was like, "Are they doing Ginny Hex?" Because she looks a lot like Ginny Hex,
A little bit.
who's like the great granddaughter of Jonah Hex.
Well, that would have been kind of cool.
but-
They should have
that-
added
that's
Jonah
not
Hex to
happening.
this season.
Oh, he'll be back. They
Yeah, I'm
I think
sure.
they have another Western episode coming up this season. So I
Yeah.
think it's,
Yeah, I mean, it's always a nice to drop in, but it would be kind of cool for him to ride out a whole season with him.
Yeah.
we got Constantine. I'm happy.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, let's move on to question of the week. What is your favorite superhero video game? Does anybody have their answers ready?
Yep.
Yes.
We've had
Yep.
an hour and 53 minutes to think about it. What is it? Go ahead. We'll start off with Josh since he's on the top. Josh, what is it?
So I was thinking about this partly because of my recommendation for the week, but my favorite superhero based video game is City of Heroes. And
Really?
I bring it up because I played that game a lot when it came out. It's the first MMO I ever played. It's the first one I ever paid for. I bought they had these really awesome character guides that you could get. Like they were like walkthroughs, but they were also like character guides, and they reminded me of the old if you remember the old DC tabletop role-playing game where you bought them and they were just hole punched pages. That's how their walkthrough official things came. It was a great universe. You could go in, you could create a character that felt like your favorite comic book character and jump into a world and just have fun. And then later on, they released City of Villains, which was the inverse. It was basically you start off in like the villain world and you play a bad guy, and there were different factions. It was cool. And I bring it up partly because when the game shut down, there was a passionate fan base that basically, I believe it's pretty official now, they have resurrected the game. It's called City of Heroes Homecoming. Mm-hmm. Totally free to download. It's on private servers. You can jump in and play. I jumped into the game a couple weeks ago. I need to get back into it, but I jumped into the game, and sort of like playing G.I. Joe Blackout. It was just warm memories like rushed over me. Maybe I need that now at the end of the pandemic, but just so much fun to run through, and the music, and it was just great. So that's mine, is City of Heroes. There are many that come very close to it, but I think it's just the nostalgia factor. I really, really love that game. So
cool. Well, I'll go next just so we stay in order. My favorite game based on a superhero-based game is Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. This was the premise of this game is that you're Spider-Man, but there's a fracture in like all these dimensions, so you keep switching back and forth between Spider-Man. And it's the first time I can remember that anybody gets to play as Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, who is my favorite Spider-Man. So that was very cool. You get to play as Spider-Man Noir, which has a lot of the mechanics of the Batman Arkham. I don't remember which game came first, but there's a lot of sneaking around, like in Batman Arkham Asylum and the Arkham series. And then you get to play as both the Ultimate and the normal version of Spider-Man. So yeah, this game was a lot of fun.
I've always wanted to play this game. I've always wanted to play it.
I have it on Xbox. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. My favorite power set comes from Spider-Man 2099 because he has this predictive vision or something like that. Like he can see steps ahead when he's fighting, and that adds a really cool not only visual to the fighting.
This is what I would almost guarantee kind of opened up the door for Spider-Verse.
It could be. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, I had a lot of fun. I don't play a lot of video games, but I remember playing this game all the way through. It has a really cool story. You get to see a lot of different villains from all these Spider-Man. So, yeah, that's my pick. Calais, what's your answer for that?
Marvel Heroes. It's a defunct game from a gazillion. I love that game. I bought into the Founders Pack. It was like an MMORPG. So you get I think I got like the X-Force bundle. And so you could get certain characters. So you could it was free to download. You got, I think, Spider-Man to start, and you could buy other characters. You could buy shit in the game like every other thing. And then you just play at a level 60. You play through the same story as every character. So, if you play Ant-Man, you're going to go through the same thing. It was fun as hell. I played every single game in every single character in the game. At one point, when they knew the game was going to close, the developers just started giving out all the bonus stuff in game. So then at that point, I got characters I had never had before. So I would play Squirrel Girl with all the bonuses and try to level to 60 in less than 10 minutes and just play as fast and just see what I could do. So it was just every day was fun. Every day had, something worth logging in for. When the game was going to be shut down, everyone in game went to the Rainbow Bridge. And so I have a screenshot I'll pull and tweet at some point. We're all on the Rainbow Bridge just waiting for, the universe to die. And then it was we were waiting for Ragnarok. And then about 20 minutes later, when nothing's happening, me and a bunch of guys were just like, why don't we just keep playing? And so we just started playing. And the game stayed active for 4 more weeks because they fired everyone and left all the servers on. They had no one to shut anything down. So it just played until they shut the power off at the building.
Oh, my God. Wow.
So that has been my funnest game, but I will put Peter Parker Spider-Man that came out recently as a close second, because I played through that pretty quick and loved every part of that, and then even got the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man edition just for it.
All right, Kyle, what about you?
Mine's a twofer, and I think the second one, because it's one of my all-time favorite games, period. I'm going to hold that for a second. If you're going to overall Marvel, the very first Marvel Ultimate Alliance for PS2.
Oh, yes.
Because one of my favorite things about that was when I got all the characters, I basically almost played throughout the whole game as the new Avengers. Got Wolverine in brown costume, Power Man in his old 70s look, Spider-Woman and Spider-Man in the black outfit, and you got achievements for creating the new Avengers. I beat the hell out of the game with that team.
Yeah, you get Moon Knight in that game, too.
Yeah.
One of the few.
That's the one where you do combos and stuff, right? With everyone?
Yeah. It's a great. The other one's good.
Well, I was gonna say, that is a great game, and actually, I just bought both of them when they re-released them on my Xbox. But they still, weirdly, Ultimate Alliance 3 was a Switch exclusive.
Yeah,
and I don't think they've ever released it to other platforms.
I've thought about it, but I haven't done it yet. Because I picked up 2, and 2 was just a bitch of a fucking game. I couldn't get anywhere in it, and that's why I like 1 better, because it had difficulty, but it wasn't impossible to play. And I like the fact that you could switch through playing whichever of the characters you want to. So the second one, and I think that I would count this as a superhero, but Astro Boy for the Game Boy Advance. Osamu Tezuka.
Really?
Astro Boy. Yes, I played this game over and over, and the reason I love this game so much is because it's from Treasure, who was an amazing company. But the game itself is a who's who for all Osamu Tezuka's characters. So Blackjack makes an appearance in there. I mean, you go through time fighting, and the game it's either it's a side scroll beat 'em up or a side scroll shooter, and it's just, and you go through time and everything, and the game is just oh my god, it's one of my favorite games of all time. So for the Game Boy Advance, they made one for the PS2. PS2 was but they just released a new Astro Boy series in Japan and then released it here. But like the GBA game is just if you ever get the chance to play retro on something, I recommend it.
That's awesome.
I mean, if anybody remembers, Osamu Tezuka created a character called Unico, which they released 2 movies a long time ago. Unico the Unicorn.
Found it.
There you go. Yes, Omega Factor.
Sorry, this was hard to find.
Yeah. But that game, I have my DS, and I'll plug in my GBA copy and I'll replay the hell out of the game. I have that much love for it.
Nice. All right. Well, let's go to recommendations. Close out the show. Go home. Take a break. Have breakfast. Whatever.
Go home.
I do need to eat.
Yeah.
I do too.
All right, Josh. Let's just go with you since you're first on the notes.
Okay, for our video watchers, I have show and tell. For those of you on audio, just bear with me. I've been waiting a year for this book to come out since I saw it on a website of a British publisher named Bitmap Games. This is the CRPG book.
You single? Oh, that looks thick.
Oh, shit.
It is. It is 500 pages. And what it is basically a comprehensive history of every CRPG from the 1970s up through, I think they go up through like 2000. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful book. I got super happy because I'm not a good classic RPG player, but when I was in junior high, I bought the very first Might and Magic when it came out. And the thing that I love about this is when you get to, hang on, I'm trying to find it. When you get to the page that's, damn it, I lost it. Where is it? Here. The very first image is the map that comes in Might and Magic 1.
Holy shit.
So what's so cool about this is you can only buy it in print from their site. But if you buy it in print, they give you a PDF copy for free. And what is really awesome is this is the most nicely packaged book I've ever received. It came shrink wrapped with these foam corners in a box, placed in another box, just to make sure that it arrived in pristine condition. It's a beautiful book. If you like CRPGs, get this.
It feels like a salt trap.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a lovely book.
Yeah, that looks
Yeah,
dope. I'll
nice.
try to go back and put the link to CRPG on the description here. And for our audio listeners, which I'll put up the audio of the stuff
here,
that we haven't had audio in a while. Yeah. So I'll go back and do that. We were just really focused on the channel. But all right, cool. I'll go next. My recommendation, as I've been doing the past few times, is just going to be a comic that's coming out next week that I'm super excited for. It should be this one. Oh shit, where'd it go? Uh-oh. I have too many tabs open.
Oh no!
Yeah, it is.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's Wonder Girl.
That's an amazing cover.
Yeah, coming out of Infinite Frontier. Wonder Girl's back, still written and drawn by Joel Jones, who was doing the Wonder Girl in the Futures End.
Did she leave Catwoman?
No, Catwoman's still ongoing as well. I think Catwoman may be wrapping up soon.
Okay.
But yeah, Joel Jones on art and writing and Jordi Belair on colors. I'm very excited for this. I actually there's Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Sorry.
All right. You mentioned too many tabs and I clicked the wrong one.
I was like, oh, Kyle's like, I hate Wonder Girl. I'm out of here. Yeah, let me put you guys back in order. Okay, yeah. So I'm super excited for this. The Future State was a lot of fun. Just those two. I think we only got 2 issues, but I love Joel Jones' art. So I did enter a giveaway for this really cool foil cover of this like variant cover. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. All right.
It won't be as exciting as the art you got this week. You were so excited in that unboxing.
Yeah, if you haven't gone back to watch the video,
who did the art on that?
It's Elsa Chatier. Yeah, let me show you. I'll just show you guys the print.
It is one of my favorite next issue moments, as he's like pulling out the art and just having a fangasm.
Yeah, this.
Oh wow!
This print of Harley,
awesome.
And you could go watch the video. It's got a lot better picture. But yeah, it's part of the Kickstarter for her second art book. I love Elsa's art. So yeah, go check that video out. Clay, what do you have for us? I see a link. Let me click on it.
Yeah, I was on Steam last week and saw this game called Flowscape. And it's $15, awesome. But it was on sale for $3, so I picked it up. It is like Minecraft with detail. It gives you like a square plot of land to build on, and animals. Like, yeah, pull up the video because like you can even build on a book, and you just draw grass, and you see all the things on the side there that you can add: houses. Mushrooms, you have animals you can put in. You can even have a dragon. You can make it tiny. You can make it large. Flowers. I mean, you see the detail that they're adding to this. It's for my computer, it still runs, which is kind of nice for being as simple as it is, but it has so much detail in it. I've got to upgrade my computer. But it's really fun to just kind of create these little places, and it's way easier than doing it in Minecraft. And it looks, see how it looks? I mean, you build.
Oh,
there's a dragon.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get landscapes. You can take shots. You can put ships in the water.
Boats.
And like I said, I picked it up for $3, and it's very calming and peaceful to just kind of create something. And there's one you can create a whole ecosystem on the back of a turtle.
Nice.
How Stephen King
like Discworld.
Like the real world.
Like the real world.
So that's it. And real quick, Daniel, I dropped the video of my last or the Rainbow Bridge for Marvel Heroes, if you want to play that at the end.
Where'd you drop it?
I added it. I sent you a link in email to get access to it.
Oh,
Here comes another
email.
tab.
Yep.
Clay's gonna make me accidentally close out the show early.
Early.
Well, early.
Yeah, I know.
Kyle,
Didn't really have much, but I guess I'm gonna throw just something I found that was on Crackle. Anybody who remembers watching it, News Radio. News Radio is all seasons of News Radio on Crackle.
Yeah.
So it's a fun show if somebody's looking for something just to kind of put in the background or just kind of catch up on some old good comedy.
How far Joe Rogan has come.
And
Wow.
God and rest in peace.
Phil
what's his name?
Hartman.
Thank you.
Phil
Thank you.
Hartman, yeah.
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 also.
That show was on the air when he
Yeah.
was killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they
And they
tried
brought
to
him-
replace him with John Lovitz.
Untalented man.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
John Lovitz just was not the right person for that. I think John Lovitz is funny in what he does. I just don't think he was the right person to replace the.
You can't replace a guy
can't.
that
Yeah, you
passes
can't.
away. That's
I
just
know.
they've tried that on so many
Yeah.
shows, and I don't know one where it worked.
He didn't die, but it's like trying to replace Michael J. Fox with Charlie Sheen on Spin City. It just wasn't the same thing anymore after he left.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Or strangely replacing Charlie Sheen with what's his face from that 70s show.
Oh yeah,
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher.
So while Kyle brought that up, we did in between shows we did lose somebody in comics. Jean-Paul Leon, artist, he passed away. I actually picked this up not knowing this was the variant that they pulled for me. It was his variant, so it was kind of as I was doing the show yesterday for the pull list, I noticed that it was his variant, so I wanted to bring that up. But yeah, when he was, you can tell some of these artists and the creators when they pass away how good they were to people around them in the industry, just because my Twitter was flooded with just nice things about John Paul Leon.
Yeah.
That even in the consequent days. So hopefully he's in a better place. Clay, let me show you. How about I show you how to play something, because I need access in my Gmail because you sent it to my other email. But
Okay.
if you go down to share, you see at the bottom of the screen. Can you click share?
And then click video file.
Yeah, click video file, and then you should be able to open it.
Yeah.
And then just make sure that it says there should be a little box that says share. Well, I don't know if it'll have audio, but we can close out the show there. If it fails, this is the end of the show. While Clay does that, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment afterwards. It really helps with the algorithm. And just stay tuned for this week. We'll be doing some more cool stuff, movie related and stuff. Oh, there it is. I can see I think I can just click. Let's see.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know I had to do it with my phone because I couldn't get a quite good capture on my computer at all.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the same fucking computer I was playing on.
Clay hates new computers.
But yeah, everyone was on the
It makes
Rainbow
me
Bridge,
sad.
just waiting for it to end. It was such a fun game, and I'm still in a Discord with people that I played with.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome. I remember we Clay, you and I both played the beta, and I remember I was really bummed because I played all the way through the beta, and then they're like, "All right, well, now we're going to release the game. We're going to reset everyone." And I'm like, "I don't want to play all that again." And then I just never got back into it. So
Yeah, I have one other video. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right,
Later,
so
man.
See ya.
And I do have one other video of I think I leveled Mr. Fantastic to level 60 and him hitting that.
Here, let me take it out. You could try it again. Do the share thing again. Yeah.
There you go.
So let's see.
Yeah, because this was kind of their little story. You fight the Hood, level 60, and it unlocks your ultimate power on there, which is pretty awesome. Everyone had an awesome ultimate power, and oddly enough, one of my favorites was Squirrel Girl because she will do a squirrel tornado.
Oh, that's dope.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, I miss this game so much. There's just nothing like it at all.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I've tried the DC version, and it doesn't feel the same in any way. So, all right.
I think we're gonna we're leaving. Thanks everyone for watching. Yeah, this is awesome way to end the show. But thanks everyone for watching. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. We appreciate it. We'll have audio soon. And subscribe to the channel if you stumbled onto this. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.
Hail Bebo.
Sounds good.
You can do the Bevo loves you thing. Bevo's gonna be back in pink.
Bevo loves you.
Bye everyone.